G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is Whistle in the Dark. This is this week's, as of this recording, survival mode challenge weapon, and to get this weapon, I just have to remind myself here, because I did this and I was drunk and I can't remember it. So you need to kill a creature whilst using a stealth boy, destroy a tower while sneaking, hack a terminal at night, pick a lock at night, and take a picture of a human-like creature at night, all in survival. Honestly, it's a piss easy thing to get a weapon that is probably not the best. A lot of people say it will be typing in the comments script right now, so you know we'll try to prove wrong. We'll try to make some use out of this thing. So what you're looking at here is a nocturnal VATS hit percentage chance plus and +1 perception assault rifle. And assault rifles in this game, they're easy to get mods for, but they're quickly outpaced by handmade rifles in the late game. So a mid-game 5.56 spitting thing is what you're looking at here, and unfortunately it's not really reflected in the levels, but that's kind of what we're dealing with here. Trust me, I know my guns. So powerful auto receiver, true barrel, true stock. None of this is actually what you get as standard. It gives you a scope, I think a night vision scope, steadfast receiver, aligned barrel and grip. The suppressor, however, comes on as standard, which is kind of nice. It's one of the attachments that I've left on. I've also put a perforating magazine. I think it was a piercing magazine was the standard attachment for this. But yep, 37 damage, and it is during the day right now, and we haven't got this equipped. So I've just got a control version. This is just a powerful auto non-legendary assault rifle. If we go ahead and equip that, since it is daylight hours, it's almost an hour till it actually hits the night. Well, we're only doing 24 damage, which is significantly less than a standard assault rifle unperked. So a smooth segue into perks, and with these basic assault rifles, I've found that ground pounder isn't really all that necessary. You can improve the hipfire accuracy with the true barrel and true grip, and the reload is fast enough not to really warrant any of that. So I like to put on tank killer in place of that to boost our damage a little bit more, because we are lacking. I've also got the perforating magazine to boost that armor penetration even further, but again, let's chuck on some of these commando perks. And of course, we're going over to Bloody Mess for luck to boost our damage even more. And we're getting 68 damage out of this powerful auto, but during the day, it goes down to 44, which, no, I'm not doing this shit. Alrighty, to rate out the time a little bit, I've just got Winter sleeping in the bed, getting some much needed sleep, and basically I'm going to wait to 6 PM, so that's when nighttime starts as far as my game knowledge goes, and that's when we should see some damage benefits out of that nocturnal prefix. Alrighty, so the clock has gone over 6 PM, let's unequip and re-equip this weapon again, still 44, Alrighty, just after 6:30 PM now, and still 44. Okay, that's 7 PM now. Do we have any damage bonuses yet? No. And the clock strikes 7:30. Do we have a benefit of this thing damaging now? No. Alrighty, it's 8 o'clock. Question is it time to rock? 44 damage, still 44, are you fucking kidding me? Okay, 8:30 now, do we have this thing doing more damage? The answer is no. And it is now 9 o'clock, let's see if we can reap some benefits out of that nocturnal effect. Ah, finally, 9 o'clock. Okay, so this is all gonna be for nothing if I rock up to this place and all the mutants are dead, so hopefully that's not the case. First things first, bye. Alrighty, so here we are outside of Muty's Plaza. Let's just load some bullets into my gun before we get started. And here are my specials. Ooh, that strength stat though. Here are my buffs, including some Scorch Beasts that I devoured whilst fucking around, and believe you me, I had a great time doing that. That was the most fun I've ever had in Fallout 76. And now, basically, we're going to VAT Stealth Commando everything, because we can. See, the special or the legendary effect lineup with the +1 perception and the +1 VATS thing speaks to me. It says, just use this thing in VATS, man. Just use it in VATS. And that is exactly what we're going to do. So now that it is after 9 o'clock, and great, now I'm going to be over capacity. Hang on, I've already got one of those. I can probably get rid of that in a second. Alright, let's just continue. And even when we get detected, we've got enough damage output to actually, take out those super mutants before they take us out. And there's that lightning quick reload, the reason we don't use ground pounder, and that should be about damage plus 60%, doing a respectable but not overly great 129 damage. And you can see how far we can boost this thing's damage when we've got the Stealth Commando and VATS crits rolling in at the same time, you see. Especially when they all miss, despite, having... Maybe I should have just gone to Nerd Rage Threshold and, used Unyielding Armor for that extra perception. I don't really know. But according to my headphones, he's stuck inside a wall. Okay. So... interestingly, it's not as great as I'd think it'd be in VATS. Maybe, I mean, it's a little bit better than usual, but the high AP usage really isn't making this any easier, even with this reflex sight, which, reduces the amount of AP you use per shot in VATS. Just take him out. That being said, hitting him for 870 with those Stealth Commando criticals is really good. Yeah, Stealth Commando criticals. Who's triggered now? Okay, I don't really know if we've got a full spawn for this place. I'm kind of hoping we do, because switching servers at this point may need me to wait. Okay, there's a 3-star legendary super mutant warlord in here. Well, we'll grab whatever he's got on him before we, get out of there. And if it's something heavy, I'll just leave it on his corpse. And then off screen, I'll go and script it, because, yes, I'm a little bit, under the 1,000 threshold. But I usually like to, grab something if I'm going to do a video, because chances are I might pick up a few legendaries, and I actually got something really good. I got a blade explosive, reload speed, Western revolver, so that one's coming soon. I've got a bunch of blade explosive weapons ready to go. Maybe I should do just another week of that. Oh, we're almost hitting 1k damage against that fool. Without those VATS criticals along with it, we're actually hitting him for about half that, and ooh, we're getting closer. I know, if we were to get ourselves some adrenal reaction, we'd be hitting for well over 1k by now. But here we go. There's that 1k. So, as the night progresses, I feel like we're getting ever so slightly more damage as the time slowly ticks by, which is kind of nice. I don't know who's triggered all of these super mutants. I am imagining it's either a player or a Protectron. It is, in fact, the Protectrons. They're annoying. They need to go away. There we go. Now we're in danger, which is annoying. Okay, that one's... Are we in danger? I mean, we're hitting him for over 1k damage without those sneak crits. Okay, that one was different. Alright, escape artist, do your thing. Just kidding, don't really need it. Alrighty, we're back into caution anyway, and don't worry, I haven't forgotten about old mate up here, the legendary 3-star. See, ground pounder, no use for that. Fast reload, hipfire is great with the true stuff on it, so that's pretty good. Definitely worth having tank killer for that extra little bit of damage output you can squeeze out from it. A 25 script right there on some very... that is basically scriptware we're looking at right there. Alrighty. Cav killed the guy who was always on the piss run, and now we can kill Mad Max and his doggo. Wherever his doggo might be. There it is. It's mounting a trash bin of some description, so whatever floats your boat, doggo, you can do whatever you want, but you're going to now do that in hell. Alright, into the hell room we go, and we'll see what we can scrounge up in here, eh? 1300 damage, so our damage is boosting even more as time goes on, and especially when they're in range. I'm thinking the range on this thing isn't too great. We're starting to see that drop off from not even too far away, so yeah. If the drop-off is exactly like it was back in Fallout 4, it basically means that we're doing half this thing's potential damage outside of its range, so that's really what we're seeing, I think. Unless they've added a new system that would actually calculate exactly the damage drop-off to a minimum damage like they do in Battlefield, but probably not for a game where most of the things you're fighting is AI, because you can just easily balance it with different numbers. It doesn't have to be different types of metas or anything for different types of weapons. Everything sort of has its own merits, and talk about weapon balance in this game, and it's not even this game's weapon balance. Let's talk about the nocturnal balance. This is one of the worst prefixes, because as you saw, I had to wait until 9 PM to actually get this to get going, which is a huge pain in the ass, because it leaves you from, I think, 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. is the optimal time to use these things. So what are you going to be doing in the daylight? Running around with these things in your inventory? And this thing is not light. It's 22.8 pounds of fucking assault rifle in your inventory. So it's not like you want to carry these things around anyway. So the people who are typing script in the comments already up, you know, they probably have a point. I can get behind that. Okay, so onto the ghoul section, and right off the bat, this bloated one thinks he's gonna pull a sneaky on me, but then he turns legendary as I'm about to kill him for some reason. You know what, I'll take it. That's free script right there. And yep, basically it's going to be a stealth commando Rama in here, and ooh, sleepers. Now, that is very, very important when it comes to killing sleepers, because you can shoot them all you want. Their hitboxes are all over the place. It's very hard to actually get those hits in. So, you know, using weapons in VATS is definitely good. So getting that extra hit percentage, especially at this range, we should be guaranteeing all of our hits at this point. And there's a lot of baggies lying around. I think a lot of scrubs have come in here and tried to take on the ghouls, but not do so well. So, you know, that's just mine after I'm finished here, assuming no person tries to reclaim that. But there's not a lot of people around at this point, so I think I'll be right. So basically, it's easy enough to control these ghouls when it comes to weapons with suppressors, right? Because you can go around waking only a few select few up at a time and kill them rather easy like that. You will never get yourself into a situation where you get swarmed, and the extra nocturnal damage, by the way, has advanced as the clock goes to 167 damage. It's doing alright, and there's a nice little 3-star for me. That was a slow-ass reload. Oh, hang on, I got out of power armor. Does that... It breaks speed demon reload speed too. Interesting. Yep, there's a sleeper right on time. See, he hides his head behind his body, so that makes it a little bit difficult to see where he's actually going. And it's a nice 9 scripper right there. I'm already full up on scripts after that 3-star thing that I got, so I guess I'm going to hold on to this for my support build character, because she needs a few more script and then she'll be full. After I get the 1,000 across all characters, I'll do a video of a little bit of script redeeming. We'll have 4 grand, and then whatever I don't want, I'll sell right back, and I'll consider that in the whole total. I might get over 5 grand worth of script being sold there as we struggle to manage our weight problems here. But as you can tell, there's really no problem. Even if we were playing in the middle of the day where I was getting a damage penalty for this thing, I feel like I could have survived these ghouls just the same, just because the suppressor offers that edge of being super stealthy. So yep, nothing really bad to say about there. Did pretty well, but again, it's at night and we get better damage. More, you know, better than we had before. As it goes on later during the night, it actually increases. So, you know, that's pretty good. So we're sitting at 114 now with no adrenaline, which is pretty solid, and maybe a little bit of adrenal reaction with that as well. Alrighty, so I'm thinking this one fight will be nice and easy, and having a look at our weapon now, 102, so I dropped a little bit because of adrenal reaction, but not like we're going to worry about that too much. And if Swan hadn't have resisted all of those blatant hits that we got at him, we probably would have one-magged him there, but regardless of that, still pretty good. Alrighty, so in a very foggy train yard smash today, let's see what we've drawn from the old things. Gun zombies. Should be no challenge at all. These guys can shoot me though, so I can't just cheese this by sitting up on top of the train carriages. Although some of them don't carry ranged weapons, so we'll see how we go. Going to use VATS to scope out all of our targets. If we get a couple of procs of gun through, as you saw there, I'm going to take that. So I'm not really seeing any particular downside of having a perforating magazine. You get 5 less than a stinging magazine, but the thing's got a relatively low rate of fire, so it's not too much of a decrease. And if you really want to boost your damage output ever so slightly more, I'd gladly sacrifice a few bullets in my mag. Although we're not going to be as good in a situation where we're being swarmed by hundreds of dudes, but you won't ever get yourself in a situation like that if you've got a suppressor. Also, the chameleon armor, which stacks, alright? is going to help us too with that. You know, we haven't really been detected at all this particular video because we've got that chameleon armor going for us. Invisible winter. Alrighty, time to kick some crabby ass, eh? And we'll see how far we can go without the use of VATS, because without using that as a crutch, we'll see how well we can go. That hip fire though, see, I've already harped on this enough, but ground pounder, not the most necessary thing when it comes to using assault rifles. There is good things about the assault rifle. Obviously the damage output next to the handmade makes it a no-brainer, but there's benefits like the fast reload speed, the hip fire without all of the good perks like ground pounder really lends itself well. So it's not a terrible weapon, but you know, it is justified that you might want to use a handmade over this. And almost one mag the queen there. And we quickly followed up with an extra bag because we got a quick reload anyway. And 161 damage. And without that, we're... yeah, okay, so we can actually see how much we're getting from the nocturnal effect there. So that's pretty good. That's a 50% increase there, and I believe as it gets even later, we'll see that go even further. So it's nearly 4 AM now, which we're getting to the peak of this thing's weapon damage output. Alright, so this random encounter node has given us a Gucking Vulpa, so let's make short work of him. Good work, Whistle in the Dark. And he was guarding a suitcase with a note and a can. Hey cutie, bring the cat with you and go to Watoga Civic Center. I think he misread the instructions and grabbed the fucking gulper, so... it's his own fault that he's dead. I think the gulper ate him, and it ate him good. There's no trace of him. So we'll just bring in the Scorchy Beast nice and close. Bit of hip fire. Bit of cheeky hip fire on him just to get him going. He's close enough now, and we can lay into him in VATS. Easily done. That's some good damage output. I'm impressed. Whistle in the Dark. See? Once you get the nocturnal effect going, you can actually do pretty well with it. The fact of the matter is, it's just not great. Perhaps if they made the weapon do regular damage at normal hours, so you'd still have a little bit of incentive to use it, because of course you're getting those extra VATS benefits from the major and minor legendary effects, but you won't be so harshly penalized for using this during the day. I think that is the best way to actually make the nocturnal effect, because the good thing about a lot of legendary effects in this game, Bloodied, Instigating, Execution, is they're universally useful at no matter what time of day it is, or Execution is not universally usable, or Instigating. You get the idea. They're more usable, they're more versatile than use this at night to get more damage, you see. So, you know, it is, at the end of the day, I still think this is scriptware, but if they had to, you know, if they went ahead and buffed the Nocturnal Legendary effect to not give you a huge damage penalty during the day, I think this would be an actual usable thing if you're looking to have some sort of 5.56 shooting weapon at a early to mid-game stage before you graduate to using on better weapons, like a handmade rifle. That's my thoughts on it. It's not terrible, but it's not great. It's pretty darn average. The Nocturnal Legendary effect, not one of the good ones. And Bethesda keeps forcing my hand by giving these survival challenge weapons nocturnal prefixes, but I guess it keeps things different, right? Thank you very much for watching, guys. Actually, you know what? It's near 5 AM. We might as well go a little bit of Scorch Beast hunting just to see what we can do. I think one's been summoned out there. We're on the very arse end of the range there, so no help there. But, yep, take out that level 51 nice and easily. And we'll see if we can't get that one's attention with a little bit of cheeky hip fire once more. Or we could zoom in. Ooh, yeah, the Fog and Chameleon armors, that mix, that little stealth boy effect that it gives you. It's not pleasant to watch. And let me just grab some adrenaline so we can boost this thing's damage. You're going to drop on the ground. I'm going to get some easy headshots on you. Or attempt to. He decided to do a little dance there, which totally threw off my aim. So good on you for doing that. But of course, that is full adrenaline now. And 5 AM. So having a look at this thing's damage once more. 167. I think that might be all she's going to give it this present health. Please summon. Yes, that's what we want. Fucking wrecked. That's what you get, Scorch Beast, for crawling out of a hole, which you shouldn't be. And now we've got heaps more adrenal reaction with us, so we're going to boost that damage ever so slightly more. So 178, and then another Scorched Beast shows up. Because why not, eh? Alright, so that was a pretty successful run with Scorched Beast hunting there. Now, I saw a Scorched Sentry bot the other day. I was like, how the fuck does that work? But yep, hey, there's a Mirelurk Queen over there. Okay, last time I didn't use VATS. I've got full adrenaline now. We'll use VATS, we'll crit spam, and we'll see how we go. You know, provided the game is going to let us regenerate AP. That'll do. Yep. And then a cheeky little gun through switch on that particular Mirelurk to kill them nice and easily. And there's just one more baby left. Okay, I think I've shown you just about all of this weapon has to offer. We're not at full Nerd Rage threshold, so we could be getting more, but just to give you an idea of how well this can go. There you have it. Trouble is the time ratings, and it's about 5:30 now. We'll see that thing drop in about 6 AM.